The Brandon Peters Show may contain explicit language and detailed plot points. For more information on the show, stay tuned to the end of the episode. And now, here's Brandon.
Welcome back to the end of the week. Time to close out with a song. And of course, the music videos all summer long are in part of the series we call the Summer of 82 at 40.
The Summer of 82 at 40.
And returning here for his second stint in this series from Halloweenies, the Windy City Double Features podcast, Cheap Tracks, Music Box of Horrors Drive-In, programmer, Rock Island Public House, and you saw him on Sven Tooney recently in May. Loads of great stuff from this guy. Always happy to have Mike Vanderbilt.
Brandon, thank you for having me back. I like that we're doing this quicker and quicker every time.
Every time, all summer long, just every couple weeks. Mike, get on the recording. Every couple weeks. It's awesome.
I love it. I'm usually every day. I'm usually sitting in front of my computer, either starting a Google document for a podcast, recording a podcast, or posting a podcast, or editing a podcast. So, actually, there's probably, as busy as I am, you have a better chance of getting me on your podcast these days, simply because I'm like, you know what? I'm already here. I might as well.
I'll just swing the chair around. And yeah, I had one time when I had Justin Beam on. He does bonus features for Blu-rays and stuff for Shout Factory and Vinegar Syndrome, all of them. He literally, he's so busy at his computer, they literally, to guess the episode, he basically swung around to the left, recorded, and back to editing on the right when he was done. But it was because he's got his little station there, and he's got his, like, I record podcast here, I edit here, and try to look at what's on his screen and be like, what are you working on right now?
What do you got coming up?
He's got secrets. He knows things that are coming that we don't. And I'm like, come on. But I'm really excited about this episode today. Heat of the Moment by Asia, from which, if you listen to the, I'm so grateful for Pres Maxson, who did the jingles for Summer of 82 at 40. The news of the moment. Yes, it's done in style of Heat of the Moment from the show. And I'm happy that the song came out this summer to fit with it. It's from their self-titled debut album. It also featured the song Soul Survivor and Only Time Will Tell. Heat of the Moment was the band's biggest hit ever, reaching number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100, number 4 in the mainstream rock. However, this was the top-selling album in the United States in 1982, spending 9 weeks at number 1, selling over 4 million copies, 4 times platinum, and 10 million copies worldwide. Big fucking album.
So so I wanted to give a little history.
Yes.
On Asia.
Well, yes. Right.
Oh, very nice. That was well done. Yep.
I didn't even realize it at first. Then I caught myself.
So Heat of the Moment. It's the first single for the band's self-titled debut, Asia. Comes out in April of 82. And it was funny, it was the last song recorded for the album, which I think that's a common trope you hear in rock and roll. Like,
right.
When the, Geffen, the label they were on, it's like, hey, we need a single here, guys. Because they were still doing, like, they were going a little bit more pop. These were prog guys for the most part. And they're going a little bit more pop with this one. They kind of saw what was coming with, I think, punk and new wave, even though they're a little late to the game. And they said, we need something a little, that we can sell to the radio. And what are their names? Jeff Downes and John Wetton cranked out Heat of the Moment, first single, and as you said in the opening, big hit. So Asia was singer and bassist John Wetton, guitarist Steve Howe, keyboardist Jeff Downes, and drummer Carl Palmer. They were a supergroup, not the first supergroup, but I think one of the first supergroups to really make a name for themselves in the 80s. Would you agree with that, Brandon?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
So Wetton.
I would say such a super group that people might not realize it's a super group. They were that good.
Exactly. And like, is the sound of their band is, I would say, a departure, a big departure from the acts that they were part of before, with Wetton coming from King Crimson, Howe from Yes, Downs from Yes, and the Buggles, which is funny that Jeff Downs is in the Buggles. Video Killed the Radio Star, famously, kind of what do I say, like predicting what was going to happen in the future.
I think that the departure also cost them in the reviews department, because the reviewers, I went back and read reviews. They weren't too positive because they were expecting what they had already done before from these guys.
Oh, right. Because then you got, Carl Palmer from Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the timeline. King Crimson splits in 84. Yes, and Emerson, Lake and Palmer in 81. But and then they form Asia. But one of my favorite bits of trivia I found, Roy Wood, and I'm going to bring this up because I always have to slip some Cheap Trick trivia into every episode. Roy Wood was formerly of The Move and ELO, and he auditioned for the band. And Roy Wood wrote California Man, which Cheap Trick have been covering since the Heaven Tonight record. And he sang he sang backup vocals on Money is the Root of All Fun, a B-side from or rather an unreleased track from the Doctor album. And they also covered Rock and Roll Tonight by Roy Wood on their Busted record. And Roy Wood's kind of one of the great weirdos of British rock and roll. Like, do yourself a favor and check out some old videos of The Move. They were something else.
Gotcha. Yeah. And the album, they also ported over the cover artists from Yes too. Roger Dean, he did the Yes covers and he did the Asia album covers. So that's why they have that kind of cool prog rock art.
And you had two different B-sides. You had Time Again in the UK, which is a little proggier, much more proggier than this, but still has that pop sheen. And then Ride Again, which was the B-side everywhere else outside of the UK.
Right. And the fact that you talked about, the Heat of the Moment was recorded so late in the process, the album art was always decided upon, done, that it was able to, the lyrics in Heat of the Moment have a reference to the album art in them because it was done already. Like, had it been recorded with their other batch of songs, they wouldn't have had a chance at that. So there's a reference to the album art in the song because it was so late in the process to throw to it.
Yeah, the lyrics on this song, they seem kind of mean. They seem kind of bleak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One of my favorite lyrics, one of my favorite turns in here is, and now you find yourself at 82, the disco hotspots hold no charm for you.
Right.
And Wetton was writing it about it like a bad breakup he had, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure. And I love it. It timestamps itself being a song at 82, recorded 80. Did they record this in 81 or 82?
I'm guessing like it was like down to the wire, like it
right.
would be like early 80. It's probably early 82. It's probably January.
True. So yeah, he gets to like fully timestamp this song. Like it really was 82 when the song came out.
And it's like, it's worth noting that I think people forget that after 1979, disco just stopped. But disco just wasn't cool anymore by 82.
It was the 83. Steve Guttenberg from the 70s, because when 89 to 90 hits, Guttenberg disappears. Just like another funny one is Meg Ryan, 99 to 2000. She pretty much, there's some things and people, some music, actors, people that just, when that decade ends, it's just no use for them anymore. They're gone.
Right. But like disco was still out there. It was just boring. It had made its way to the suburbs. You had your suburban dance studios teaching your parents how to do the hustle.
Right. Well, also too, we're about to be in the period where the discos are going to be converted into like honky tonks.
Oh, because of the or comedy clubs.
Or comedy club. Yes.
That was
honky tonks and comedy clubs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and the honky tonks, of course, because of the urban cowboy phenomenon.
Yep. Travolta was able to swing them.
Which is interesting.
Where's he going?
It's really interesting noting that because both Urban Cowboy and Saturday Night Fever were based on articles.
Yeah.
About, a scene, something that was bubbling up, something that was happened. And I do really feel like, as much as I love Saturday Night Fever, and like Urban Cowboy is a movie that I think is a stupid movie with 2 O's, but I mean, stupid, like I get it, but I also understand its appeal because I just feel like there's something disingenuous about Urban Cowboy because they're trying to recapture that magic so hard.
Yeah.
Of Saturday Night Fever.
I like Urban Cowboy as its own thing. I like it. There's a lot I like about Urban Cowboy. It pales in comparison to Saturday Night Fever, but like something I really dig about it, and I think it shows the dangers of like marrying the first person you decide. Like, it really shows a darker side of getting married too young, going for the first person you meet at a, like, I
what
really
was the name of I can't even remember the name of the bar.
Oh fuck.
Shame on me, but I do remember
still
Scott,
there, I believe, too.
I remember Scott Glenn in his new wave cowboy get up with the fishnet shirt.
Yeah, he's pretty gross in the
and I do love that everything, and it is kind of like that small town mentality, like everything in town that night hinges on the mechanical bull riding contest.
Yeah, that's the silliness of it. That's how, like,
but there's a reality to that too. There's very much a reality to that.
Gillies, that's the bar.
Yes.
Gillies Bar and Country Dance Hall. But yeah, no, that's Travolta's run of great performances there before his little drought, where he's doing Lift Talking movies. But
and then he came back and did it again.
Yeah, he crushed it. Yeah.
So let's talk about the video itself, because the video, it's my favorite videos are where it's just the band performing. I don't need a lot. I mean, it's cool when there's like a little extra story, but
this is close to that.
This is close. This one kind of sits on the edge, but it's definitely of that era where they're using what they consider to be these high tech or very impressive special effects, like visual stuff, like chroma key and shit. So it's like it's memorable enough, but it was directed by Godley and Cream.
Right. Yeah.
Which this was the discovery of the episode.
Yes.
Because Lowell, I'm guessing it's Lowell, LOL Cream.
Yeah.
Was formerly of 10cc, who famously did, the AM pop hit I'm Not in Love, which is a good one. But if you really want a taste of what 10cc could do, check out their tune Rubber Bullets.
Okay.
That's like, they don't even sound like the same band, because they were kind of on the cusp of glam. They were kind of on the back end of the UK glam movement. And then Kevin Godley, you probably know about him because he did a bunch of music videos. He did.
Right.
You want to talk about some iconic 80s music videos.
Oh yeah. Like, you name the band, you're like, okay, this song. Yeah, they did it.
Yeah. Kevin Godley directed, along with Lowell Creme on a lot of them. Everybody Have Fun Tonight. Every Breath You Take. Girls on Film, and Hip to Be Square.
Yeah. Yep. And he also did View to a Kill, the Bond video that they
One
had.
of my favorite Bond. I like them 80s Bond tunes.
He did
I like them 80s Bond tunes a lot, because I really like Living Daylights by Aha as well.
Yeah. They did Relax from Frankie Goes to Hollywood. But yeah, there's a lot of those. And they had their own song, Cry, that they did together. That had some sort of success because it's been used in like some movies and stuff. I listened to it and I'm like, I don't know this one.
Oh, I remember this video, because I believe this video is it's not quite black and white Michael Jackson face, what do I say, morphing.
Yeah.
It's
right.
It's definitely an inspiration on that. Yeah. Okay. No, I remember them talking about this video when the Michael Jackson video came out. 90, was that 91, 92?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. But they were, I think they did some cool video. I mean, I guess sort of innovative videos. The Everybody Have Fun Tonight is very distinctive, with all the people moving in the background, and definitely this one with the morphing. Every Breath You Take is certainly stylish. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they definitely have a good style to them and stuff. The producer on this was Brian Grant, who I've already talked about in this series because he produced the Ray Parker Jr. The Other Woman video. So
I love 80s Ray Parker Jr.
Oh God, okay. That guy's awesome.
I still can't get over Loving You is one of my favorite songs about murdering your ex-girlfriend. That song in the last verse gets so dark that you don't see it coming. You have to stop and rewind it because you can't believe you heard what you just heard.
Well, on that video, we were talking about how this guy, Ray Parker Jr., everybody's like, ha, Ghostbusters. But I'm like, no, they tried to make that guy a movie star, and he was ahead of Prince and Michael Jackson on stuff in the early 80s. There's stuff he's doing that's like,
he was part of he's yacht adjacent. He's part of the yacht rock scene a little bit because he played on a lot of stuff in the 70s, and he has band Radio.
Yep.
His video for The Other Woman there was one that has him with a white woman,
Right.
and that was considered too risque.
Yeah.
For MTV in 1982. You believe that shit?
Yeah. Well, that's the one that's used the Universal Classic Monsters. That's the one we talked about. Yeah. And it's like, well, that's months before Thriller happens. So that's, pretty crazy stuff. This Heat of the Moment, this song rules. I dig it still to this day. But
see, this is a song that I like it. I like this song. But if I have to critique it, I've had to put my critic's hat on, right? It feels like it's always on the verge of the hook. Like, the hook is there, but it should be bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel with maybe a different producer, or, if they had brought in an outside songwriter, I mean, it wouldn't have necessarily been Asia anymore. And as we'll discuss in another video on our series, sometimes the outside songwriter just puts that pop sheen onto it. But here I am talking about a song that was a hit. So what the fuck do I know?
Well,
right?
I'll say with this, I would say the verses are catchier and bigger than the chorus ends up being.
Yeah, the chorus should be bigger, and I don't know if that's it's a problem with the production or the songwriting. I do enjoy this tune though.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not Asia as a whole. Asia's fine. They're not. I wouldn't chalk them up to one of my favorite bands.
Last time we talked about, they fell off the face of the earth. They had the biggest selling album of '82, and the next album goes platinum. It's the follow up. People are curious. They're excited, even if they don't like whatever they're selling. And then off to irrelevancy. Like, they've released 13 studio albums over their career. They've had lineup changes. They reunited in 2008. And their last album was 2014. So the Asia was playing up to the John Wetton passed away in 2017. So I don't know if Gravitas from 2014 is their last, but they conquered the planet on their first album, and then just they're Hootie, I guess, of the 80s kind of. But they didn't have as many hits off that album though. So I can't, because Hootie was hit. They like half that album.
That Hootie
Cracked
record,
Review was singles.
Yeah, I don't remember any other.
No, this is it. This is the
radio
one
singles.
I remember.
Yeah,
they're on top of the planet.
No, but look at it. They're not a singles band, and they didn't intend themselves to be.
Right.
The record label wanted them to be a singles act. Hence, why you get Heat of the Moment.
They needed to get your attention.
Relatively forgettable. I mean, it's just not my. Asia's just not my thing. Prog rock's just not my thing. Right. I prefer shorter, punchier tunes, which Heat of the Moment is. Heat of the Moment, maybe if they had written that for another band.
Right. Well,
if a band like 38 Special does does Heat of the Moment, I think it's a better song.
Yeah, that's possible too. But it's funny because people bought the whole album. The single only got to number 4. Didn't really, I don't think it went platinum on its own. The album is what people went and bought, and there's no other song. It's crazy. They were just like, nah, Heat of the Moment, I will just buy the album.
Okay. Here, I have a theory on that. That it wasn't necessarily the strength of Heat of the Moment that was selling that record, but the reputations of the musicians involved.
Okay.
Because you got to remember, rock and roll guys are rarely single guys. That's why you have AOR, album-oriented rock.
Right.
It's all about the record. It's about the album. It's about listening to the whole album and having that.
I'm old school.
Song,
that's my wheelhouse right there too.
Having that favorite song that isn't the single.
Yeah.
Liking the single, that's for
or what they should have made the single. Trying to find the others.
That's for amateurs.
Yeah. Just put the best song on the radio. Who cares if it's catchy? People will appreciate the musicianship. I'm like,
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Make sure that shit comes in under 3 minutes.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. But no, there's the video. So the video is just them playing, and then there's stuff that comes across the screen, like in little versions of the screen. Also, there's a slow motion slap happens in here. It's an interesting way to do just the live performance video. There's a burning envelope. There's a lot of things with clocks and watches and stuff and hourglasses.
That's about time. It's about losing time.
Right.
It's about. I think it's a song. I think it's about aging.
Yeah.
And regrets.
There's I don't know if they get away with the Mickey Mouse watch nowadays, because there's a Mickey Mouse, the one with the hands with Mickey. I'm like, that would have got you.
Oh, Disney would have put the kibosh on that.
This is Disney in their shit period right now. So
this is Watcher in the Woods era, where Disney didn't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah, we got a movie. We got a movie we're going to be talking about later in August or end of July called Tex, which is Disney's attempt at making more adult, mature films with
Tex
Matt Dillon.
Yeah, that's based off an S.E. Hinton novel.
Yep. Year before Outsiders, yeah.
That was before. I guess so.
Year before Outsiders, yeah.
And no Coppola on that one, huh?
Nope.
Because again, Coppola is involved with both Rumblefish and
Matt Dillon, all three. So he's the S.E. Hinton guy.
Wow, that is interesting.
But there's there's lots of there's some cool visuals and stuff like that. Snare hit with the fire, that's pretty badass.
Yes, that's cool.
That's cool. There's like a random baby character, like it's all relationship stuff. I think it's probably just
a cool
about
way of it is an interesting and innovative way of telling the story without putting it into distinct terms.
Right. It's
abstract
about making relationship decisions in the heat of the moment and what comes with that. Maybe. I do have I'm going to tell a story. I didn't know what an Asia was until I thought it was a country. Till I was in college, and I was in a fraternity in college, a very small one. But nonetheless, there'd be the older alumni guys that would come back and visit one time, and one came back. His name was Shay, and he came back one time, and we were doing a thing called Power Hour. Do you know the Power Hour, Mike?
Is that where you do like a shot of beer every minute for an hour?
Yeah, and you make a playlist for it where you just play a song for a minute, so the song changes every time. And I
never did the song thing, but okay.
All right.
Also, there was a similar one we did. Shots of beer, the Centennial Club.
Oh, yep. I've done that one. Yeah, I've done that. Yeah, Power Hour, you can get to the party quicker, but so we're sitting there doing, and he'd never played Power Hour, I think, and we were sitting there playing. I was running the music for it, and he's like, why don't you play some Asia? And because he went to college in the 80s or whatever, and we're like, what? All of us were like, Asia, like. He's like, Asia, guys. We're like, and one person was like, is there a song like Heat of the Moment or something? Like, he's like, hey, you guys don't know who Asia is? It was like the biggest band. And he went on this like, I can't believe these young kids.
Why don't
bullshit.
you guys know who the fuck Asia is?
And we were like, so I will always laugh, and I found out who Asia was because of that. And I remember him being like downloading songs that night to like play for us, and like.
See, for me, it was
hilarious.
I remember seeing that they were always on like whatever 80s compilation CD was advertised on. Like,
Heat of the Moment's on like 80 of them, yeah.
But I didn't put it together. I think like a lot of people, like maybe our age, a little bit younger, until The Last American Virgin. Like that's
the 40-year-old. The 40-year-old virgin.
40-year-old virgin, rather. I will forever just associate Asia and them making fun of his framed Asia post.
I have it, but it's also got the best punchline because of that. Because he's like, well, you got that framed Asia poster, But when it kicks into that third act, I need to go get her thing. They play Heat of the Moment, which is the best damn punchline to that joke, that setup joke, the Asia poster.
Absolutely, yeah. I agree with that.
And I laughed, and I thank Shay I know Heat of the Moment because of that. I was ready for 40-year-old virgin. So thank you there, sir. But that's
ahead of the curve.
Head of the curve on Asia. So, all right, Mike, that'll wrap us up here for Asia. Heat of the Moment. I'm really psyched to have this song part of the show. It's just there's something funny with it. I like the song. I don't know. It's just kind of funny down with it. But you'll be back here in just a couple weeks. But until then,
looking forward to this next one.
What do you?
Little tease for everybody. That it's I don't know. I want to say one of my favorite bands, but then a band that I really like that I enjoy talking about.
All right, excellent. And it's June. What do you got going on in June, Mike?
Fuck, I know. June.
Just wait till I ask you about July.
Yeah, right. Hopefully, never mind. I was gonna get real grim there, but I don't. But yeah, June. Check out. We got some new stuff coming out from Halloweenies. Please, check us out. Check out our Patreon. Cheap Tracks is still rocking and rolling. Of course, Windy City Double Feature Picture Show and Centerfold are still out there kicking. We got some cool stuff coming up from the Music Box of Horrors for the rest of the summer. We'll be doing our 70 millimeter fest this month, and we got something that's going to be really cool on the big screen coming at you.
Excellent. Very exciting. Very excited. Keep posted with Follow Mike so you know what's going on. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Brandon4KUHD, written work at WhySoBlue.com. Scott and I return Monday for more of the Summer of 82 at 40, which has just been keep rolling, keep being fun, awesome times. So till then, stay fun.
The Summer of 82 at 40.
Thank you for listening. The Brandon Peters Show is a Creative Zombie Studios production. Produced by Brad Shoemaker and Brandon Peters. Written and edited by Brandon Peters. Announcer vocals by Jessica Alsman. Theme song by Metavari. Web design and show art by Brad Shoemaker with Brandon Peters. All music and clips featured in the episode are property of their respective studios, and no infringement is intended. The Summer of 82 at 40 and News of the Moment themes by Pres Maxson. Additional information on this and other episodes at thebrandonpetershow.com. For any inquiries, press opportunities, or sponsorship, contact mail@thebrandonpetershow.com. The show is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere podcasts are found.